welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and I appreciate you being here. Today's video is going to be me talking about my low spend season. So if you're new here, I have been doing a low spend season since the beginning of January. It's now the middle of March as I'm recording this, so I've been doing this for about 2.5 months. I'm not finished with what I'm calling my low spend season. However, I've had a lot of thoughts lately. I've been really reflective and introspective on how it's going, how I feel about it, and what it's done for me and my budget and my financial goals. So I will just jump right into it. The thing about the low spend is that I went into it with a mindset of the point of this is just to reduce my spending, increase my savings, and put more money towards my financial goals, which all in all, I've totally been able to do. The first month felt pretty easy. You know, December was the holidays, it had been a spending month, it had been a social month. So I knew January would be pretty easy because I wanted to spend a lot more time at home, I wanted to spend time with myself, and I wanted to save more money after having an expensive December. So January felt pretty easy. I was able to put more money than I would normally have put towards my financial goals, and I was really happy with that. That's when I decided to make it from a month, move it into a season. So rolling into February, as I was making that budget, I definitely decided to add things in that, I value. So I never cut everything out, but I added in travel. So I knew I was going to be planning a staycation for March, so that was added into my February budget already, which I'm really glad that I did. I didn't want to do a no spend. I knew that the difference between my positive headspace and a negative headspace would be that difference between a low spend and a no spend. So I'm really glad that I did do a low spend, not a no spend. Wow, that's hard to say 5 times fast. But the thing about personal finance is that there's so much about it that's qualitative data. So yes, when it comes down to it, money is numbers. You can have a set goal, you can have a set timeline, and if you've achieved it or not. But when you're thinking about personal finance, especially when you're somewhere in the beginning to middle of your journey, the mindset that you have about your money is the biggest impact that you can have on your money. If you feel confident in the way that you manage it, you're going to be making better decisions than if you don't feel confident. And as I've been doing this for a little bit longer, I've noticed my mindset on money shifting, and not always in the best way. So there's definitely been some pros and cons, but in general, I've felt this feeling of forced scarcity. And yes, that's good because it means that I'm putting money aside, I'm putting money towards my savings and investing, but it started to lead to this feeling of deprivation. And that is not my rich life, as I've gotten from Ramit Sethi. His mantra is to live your rich life throughout your whole life, even as you're saving up for the goal, which eventually would be retirement. And I really resonate with that. And that is why I never cut out everything. That's why I wanted to do a low spend, not a no spend. That's why I was planning the staycation for March. But there are other things in my life that are important to me. For example, I've severely cut down my eating out budget. I don't have to eat out that often, and to be honest, I don't eat out that often. But I cut it down from what was normally like 600 dirhams down to 150 dirhams. So I had budgeted about a quarter of what I would normally budget. But really, when it comes down to it, that is only eating out once. In January, I didn't have a full meal out. I had a few coffees here and there that went into that budget. February, I went out once, and in March, I've also been out once, and I've been over budget in that category just from those 2 outings on both months. And for me, that's a big way that I socialize. So that was me catching up with a friend over a meal. It's something I enjoy. I work in the food industry, so food is something that I appreciate. And in these last couple of months, I feel like I've had to decide. I feel like I've had to choose between meeting up with a friend, going out to dinner with a friend, or spending time and going out for a meal with my partner. And that's not a choice that I think is fair for myself or for the people in my life, because this is something that we like to do. I don't want to restrict myself so much on that anymore. So I am still planning on following this through for March. The staycation is coming up finally. I'm really excited about it. We have not free spending while we're there, but we have a budget that I plan to stay within. And then come April, things might start to look a little bit different. I'm going to start adding things in, whether that is eating out or it might be something else. I haven't really fully decided yet, but I do know that things will start to shift a little bit. The other thing that I've been noticing in my mindset shift is I've started to fear like unexpected expenses. And when I say unexpected expenses, I don't mean unexpected, I mean untimely expenses. So for example, I know I need to buy a new phone. My phone I've had since like 2019, 2020. It's been starting to die. When I bought it, it wasn't even the newest model. So it really is time to upgrade. There are certain apps that I can't even run anymore. So I know it's coming. I haven't bought it yet. But when I am in this low spend, I have such an intense mindset towards my financial goals that I want to finish it in March. I want to be done with it and move on to the next. But if I have to buy a phone, it's going to be about 4,000 dirhams, and that is a lot more than what I had planned to put towards my savings. So I would actually dip into either my savings or into my buffer fund, which obviously I haven't really been planning for. I don't have a sinking fund set aside for this. It's unfortunately a need at this point because I use it for my job, I use it for my social life. But I know that as soon as I get it, it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, I'm going to be happy that I have it. But within 3 weeks, it's just going to be a tool, just like the one that I have is now. A better, more useful tool, but a tool nonetheless. So it's not something I'm excited about spending on. And I felt that way ever since I've realized I'm going to have to get a new one, which is months and months ago. But I don't want to enter that onto my spreadsheets. I don't want to enter it into my budget. I don't want to not save money this month because I've had this big expense. And that just feels a bit silly. You know, that is very much a deprivation mindset. It's very much a way of me not using my money in a way that serves me. And it's not my rich life, like I was saying earlier. So although I think I would have always had that thought of, I'm not excited to buy a new phone, I'm not excited for this big purchase, it's not something that I really value, it is something that I need. So that purchase is going to be coming up soon. I haven't decided if it's this month or next. I am trying to wait it out to see how long this one will last. But coming soon and gonna have to come out of the budget somewhere. The other thing for the good side is that this exercise has really been addition by subtraction. So yes, I did miss eating out. I did miss socializing with some people that are in my life, but I was able to focus on the small things in life that I know I really enjoy. I am an introvert. I like spending time at home. I like spending time with myself. And in these couple of months, I have spent a lot of time getting back into reading, getting back into the kitchen and cooking, taking care of my plants. I think I've added 3 in these 2 months, mostly gifted. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying the slower side of things, and adding things by taking things away. Having said that, some of the slower things, the things that I can do at home, are like scrolling mindlessly on my Instagram or whatever it is. And that's not really adding any value to my life either. So in the next couple of months, I'm definitely going to be trying to find that balance between adding things in that I actually value, things like travel and hobbies and activities and socializing, and also making sure that I am not adding in things that I don't value. For example, I have enough stuff. I don't really need stuff. In the last 2.5 months, I have bought 1 article of clothing, and I kind of had buyer's remorse. It wasn't expensive, it wasn't, extravagant by any means, but I bought it and I thought, I didn't really need that. And I have something that is comparable, it's not a necessity, it's not a staple in my wardrobe. As I've mentioned in previous videos, when you are living abroad, you never know when you're gonna have to pack up your life again. And adding more stuff into my house, again, doesn't really serve me. So I'm gonna be focusing on not buying things, but definitely adding more experiences in. And to be honest, I already have something in mind that I'm thinking of for April, and I'm really excited about it. I won't share it yet because it's not come to fruition, but it is potentially a new hobby, potentially a new way of socializing and just enjoying myself outside. In these last couple of weeks, part of the reason why I have been resonating on this topic of what is this doing for my mental health is because I've been consuming a lot of content of the skill of happiness, and what to do to live your best life. How do you make yourself feel fulfilled and happy in the day-to-day? And it's been a really good exercise for me. While I'm really glad that I did this low spend at the beginning of the year, it really hit at a good time after December. Moving forward, I am going to kind of reconsider my values and actually kind of put a dollar value to what I value, which is a little bit funny, but can definitely be built into my budget. So that's how I'm feeling about my low spend season. Like I said, I will continue through the rest of March. Come April, I think some categories will go back up to what was the previous normal. Some categories will stay exactly where they are for the last couple of months, and some will end up somewhere in between. So instead of going back to where it was, say, in November and December, it will be a little bit more than what I've been spending in the last couple of months, but not up back as high as that. If that's something you're interested in following along, I do post budget videos and budget closeout videos every single month. There's a whole playlist that I've started since the beginning of January. My question for you guys is, if you are doing a low spend, Or if you started 2025 with a low spend January, how did it go for you? What was your mindset about it? And how do you spend your money in ways that are valuable to you? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, baby. Here you come to join us.